When people hear the name Alexander the Great, they immediately think of battles, conquests, and empires. But behind the victories and the strategies stood a man whose personality and leadership style shaped everything he achieved. Understanding who Alexander was as a person is as important as studying his wars, because it was his character that inspired men to follow him across deserts, over mountains, and into lands they had never imagined. Alexander was known for his incredible confidence. From a young age, he believed he was destined for greatness. His mother, Olympias, often told him that he had a divine origin, and his tutor Aristotle filled his mind with the stories of heroes like Achilles. This belief in his own destiny gave Alexander unshakable self-assurance. He truly thought that nothing was impossible. It was this confidence that made him dare to face armies many times larger than his own, to besiege cities that others said could never be taken, and to dream of ruling not just Macedonia but the entire known world. Yet Alexander's personality was not only about confidence, it was also about charisma. He had a natural ability to inspire loyalty. His soldiers did not just obey him because he was their king. They loved him because he shared their hardships. He marched alongside them in the heat, drank the same water they drank, and often fought in the front lines. He risked his life many times in battle, suffering wounds and bleeding beside his men. This courage and willingness to share danger created a bond of trust. His army believed that if Alexander was with them, victory was certain. At the same time, Alexander could be ruthless. When cities resisted him, he sometimes destroyed them completely, as he did in Thebes at the beginning of his reign and at Tyre after a long siege. He wanted to send a message that defiance would not be tolerated. This mixture of kindness and cruelty was part of his leadership. To those who were loyal, he showed respect, but to those who opposed him, he was merciless. In this way, he maintained control over a vast and diverse empire. Another part of Alexander's personality was his ability to adapt. Unlike many conquerors, he did not try to impose only Macedonian culture on the lands he ruled. He often adopted local customs. In Persia, he dressed in Persian robes and married a Persian princess. In Egypt, he respected the gods and accepted the title of pharaoh. These actions made him more acceptable to the people he conquered. They saw him not just as a foreign invader, but as a ruler who was willing to become one of them. This cultural flexibility was one reason his empire lasted even after his death, carried on by the Hellenistic kingdoms. However, Alexander also had flaws. He was quick-tempered and sometimes reckless. He drank heavily, and in moments of anger, he could be violent even toward those closest to him. One of the darkest episodes of his life was when he killed his friend and general Clytus during a drunken quarrel. Afterward, he was filled with guilt, but the incident showed that beneath the brilliance there was also instability. His ambition was endless, but it often pushed him too far, exhausting his men and driving them to the limits of endurance. Still, what made Alexander unique was his vision. He did not simply want to conquer and return home. He wanted to unite the East and West under one empire. He dreamed of a world where Greek culture blended with Persian, Egyptian, and Indian traditions. He even encouraged his soldiers to marry local women, hoping to create a new generation that would belong to both worlds. This vision was far ahead of his time and revealed that his leadership was not just about war, but also about building something greater. In the end, Alexander's personality was a combination of brilliance and flaws, charm and ruthlessness, ambition and vision. He was a man who believed he was more than human, and in many ways, he lived as if he were. His leadership style was direct, personal, and fearless. He did not command from the back, he led from the front. He inspired loyalty, fear, and respect all at once. It is because of this unique mixture that his name has survived for more than 2,000 years. His victories may have built his empire, but his personality and leadership style built his legend. Alexander the Great was not just a conqueror of lands, but a conqueror of hearts and minds, a leader whose presence made men believe they could achieve the impossible.